most months on a Sunday afternoon at the Key Theatre in the fantastic Riverside Bar, which is known as the Glass House because of all the glass down two sides of the room. And I run a Glass House acoustic sessions there once a month, and I usually put on about 4 different acts. We encourage all the time original music, singer-songwriters, be they solo, duo, trios or bands. And it's a free entry event, and it's a very, very nice way to spend a Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock till 6 o'clock, free entry, licensed bar and the works. Anyway, I've been doing that now for 2 years, and I have always asked from day one, the Vivacity who run the Key Theatre, I've asked them for an opportunity to actually put on a full show in the theatre itself. And eventually, I think it was in May of this year, they said yes, we'll give you a slot. So they gave me the date of Saturday the 17th of October, and I've been working towards that ever since that time. So it has taken quite a few months to actually put it together.
Yes, and now we're 2 days away. How are you feeling right now?
I'm very nervous. Very nervous indeed.
What David's saying is he wants you to phone the number. It's 01733. Okay, this is the box office for the Key Theatre, 207 239 to get your tickets.
Yes, indeed.
Now, when you put on an event like this, David, and it start, do you think that maybe it'll work or maybe it won't?
Well, it is very much an unknown because this is the first time anything like this has ever been done. And, when you're a pioneer of these sort of things, you have to take risks. And certainly I've taken a risk. I've not taken a risk in terms of the artists that I'm putting on. They're all absolutely top-line artists. They're some of the region's very, very best artists. And I know that anybody who does go is not going to be disappointed. It's going to be a phenomenal show. But there is an element of risk, of course. If people don't turn up, if they don't support it, not only will I beg on my face, it'll probably cost me a lot of money too.
Let's save David's pocket here.
Absolutely.
We're just going to bring Marcel Pleasance in here. Now, Marcel, when your father came to you and said he's going to put on this event, what was your first thought?
I was thinking about going on holiday, actually. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's always good to have these sorts of events. It's as the name suggests, it's a very good showcase for local musicians, and I think we need more of that in places like Peterborough, and especially original music, getting it out there to people,
Of course, because David was saying that a lot of pubs now only do like covers bands and things like that, so that's good stuff. Yeah. If you produce your own music, it's a bit of an outlet. How do you get your music out there as a solo musician and your own original music? How would you do it?
Probably the best way is through things like the acoustic showcase, and trying to find venues that are willing to promote original music, which is getting more difficult around here these days, unfortunately. But luckily we do have these sorts of events. So,
and of course the Willow Festival didn't happen this year, so that was another outlet missed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Do you miss events like that?
Yeah. I mean, I just think you need events like that. I think original music has kind of gone out of the limelight a little bit lately in this country, unfortunately. I mean, you've got the outlets like the internet and things, but in terms of people seeing you live, I think that's a big sort of promotional tool, if you like.
It is indeed.
A lot of songwriters and musicians, so.
Because a lot of people don't come out anymore due to no residual income things. I'm going to bring David back in here because I know he's dying to speak to us. Now, I've got to say, David, you were saying like last time you were on that the decline of venues for original artists is actually sad.
Substantial and very sad decline. I think one of the problems is that for quite a long time now, Peterborough has become known as a city where covers bands are more than welcome. And in fact, the last time I did my research, which was not long ago, I discovered 96 covers bands within a 45-mile radius of Peterborough. They look after essentially about 54 pubs, and mostly pubs. There's 1 or 2 other venues, but mostly pubs. And that, of course, changes from week to week as pubs open and close. But it's a bit like musical chairs, and the same bands just move around to the different venues every second, third week, and sadly they seem to play pretty much the same set list of songs. And what I feel about that is, and I guess why I'm so passionate about supporting original music, is that these guys don't put anything back into music. They're just playing somebody else's stuff, and they forget that every song they're singing somebody wrote. And if we don't encourage songwriting and the opportunity to get that music out there, then we'll end up with the whole thing drying up, and we can't afford that, especially when we have such incredible artists that live and perform when they can around our region. We have some unbelievable acts. As people come, if they come on Saturday night, they'll witness that for themselves.
Absolutely, I've got to tell you, I've been blown away by a few people. Do you know what I mean? Because the last 5 weeks, we've been focusing and trying to get the bands into the studio to record them and that. Okay, and also they're on film now as well. And I've got to be honest, Meg McPartland, she's a phenomenal artist, isn't she?
Oh, she is, and she's also a sweetheart as a person. She's only just turned 18.
That's right.
She's recently got her driver's license, so those of you that are driving out there, beware. Yeah, she's wonderful. She's a very feisty girl, knows exactly what she wants to do, writes terrific music, and delivers with such soul and passion. And I think that she is somebody that potentially could go a very long way.
She could indeed. And let's come back to Marcel, because Marcel's already come a long way from music, haven't you? You know what I mean? When did you first pick up a guitar, Marcel?
I'm always trying to work it out, but I think it was probably as early as 7 or 8. I sort of had a bit of a dabble with Dad's guitars and that, but didn't really take it seriously till probably about 13, 14. And then I started to get right into it and just became a bit of a bedroom guitar geek, as you do.
Really?
Yeah, but in terms of songwriting, I don't think I seriously started writing songs until I was about 2021 when I got to Australia. I was just massively influenced by the kind of acoustic sort of scene that was going on the Sunshine Coast there. It was just very beach vibey, and the content was a lot more conscious, I guess you'd say, than some of the music that I'd sort of been exposed to in the UK. There was just a very rootsy, sort of honest sort of elements about it, which I just bought right into. And that was just a massive influence for me, really.
And that inspired you to sort of write your own?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now I've got David says that this is where your chilled out sort of rhythm and singing comes across. How much influence does the sort of the sea sand and that sort of relaxed atmosphere have on you?
Yeah, huge influence. It's lyrically, also just the idea of keeping things kind of stripped down and organic and acoustic. I think that's very much come from that beach kind of sort of vibe, if you like. Yeah, so
because you get a bit of reggae in there as well, don't you? The rhythm, you sort of a bit of Bob's reggae and a bit of all sorts of sort of rhythms, a bit of ska. Do you know what I mean? Did you just form that together at any one point? Did you just pick up bits and sort of just go?
I think it was when I started out writing in the style that I sort of do. It was that beach element which brings the sort of organic, stripped back kind of style of it. But it was also a case of I decided I was writing songs. I needed to start performing them to people. I wanted to get feedback. I wanted to know what it felt like to sort of play songs to people. There was a guy called Paul Fogarty, who Dad's very familiar with, and seeing him live and just how he sort of engaged the audience, and again, he just had that very honest kind of raw approach to his songwriting and his vocal style, and that just got me hooked. So I knew I wanted to do something along those lines. But I think the rhythmic element, because I listened to, as I was growing up, I was talking sort of mid-90s or early to mid-90s, I listened to a lot of hip-hop at the time because that's just what my friends and I were listening to. So that's a big influence that's coming with the rhythmic side of it. So it's kind of mixing a kind of folk, I guess, roots folk thing with a kind of a hip-hop
rhythm,
funk, rhythm kind of thing. And
you're one of those people actually dancing in the street. You did a bit of street dancing, you know what I mean?
No, I'm not that animated, to be honest. Yeah, anyone that knows me, a bit too mellow for all of that, but I do have the odd sway, you know, after a couple of pints.
What would you like to do for us first, Marcel?
I was going to play, just going along the kind of Australian beach vibe, I was just going to play a couple of originals and some covers in that kind of vein.
Okay.
So I'm going to start out with a song by a band called The Beautiful Girls from Sydney. I've played this hundreds of times. It's one of the first songs I learnt in Australia, I think, when I heard it. So this one's called Freedom.
Take it away.
That's good out tune. I may not be you and you not me, but between us there are certain similarities. Like I believe in love and the devil will come looking for us when we want someone. But freedom is ours to hold. It's just a struggle in your mind to keep your soul, keep your soul. And it's soul, yes it's soul. Just a struggle in your mind to keep your soul. How long you die depends on how you rise. Life has a meaning, so open your eyes. The seeds there with speed into life to be trees will soon become fallen if their roots aren't deep. Freedom is ours to hold. Just a struggle in your mind to keep your soul, keep your soul. And it's sold, yes it's sold. Just a struggle in your mind to keep your soul. Freedom is ours to hold. Just a struggle in your mind to keep your soul, keep your soul. And it's sold, yes it's sold. Just a struggle in your mind to keep your soul.
How about that? Marcel Pleasance there. Oh, it's brilliant stuff I've got to say. What's that called again?
That one's called Freedom.
Freedom.
All the Beautiful Girls, yeah.
That's a fantastic track of music. You like that, David?
Yeah, I do indeed. Yeah, Marcel introduced me to the band, the Beautiful Girls, and Matt McKeown, who's the kind of lead singer, I guess, leader, and his music, and it's just beautiful stuff. Really, really nice.
It's beautiful, I've got to be honest, I've got to say. We're going to give a quick break, let Marcel's voice refresh and David's voice refresh. We'll be back straight after these. It's CityBuzz on Peterborough FM Station, many communities. It's now 12:20. We are talking to David Pleasance, a singer-songwriter himself, a flamenco guitarist, a musos for you, and he's organising the Singer-Songwriter Showcase at the Key Theatre, which is happening in 2 days' time, Saturday the 17th of October. 8 phenomenal artists performing. 7, is it? See, I can't count, I was just counting all the things there. And of course, also in the studio is his son, Marcel Pleasance, formerly of the Delta Phonics. They're now setting up a new project. Welcome back, how are we?
We're pretty good, thanks.
Marcel?
Right, yeah.
That was a cracking music.
Thank you.
And that was a cover from a band you knew?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a band called The Beautiful Girls.
Are they still going?
Yeah, it's a bit strange how he sort of promotes himself, but the main guy's dad said Matt McHugh. It started out as The Beautiful Girls, and then sometimes he'll do a solo project which he'll call Matt McHugh. Sometimes he'll do a solo project which he'll call The Beautiful Girls, but he's done it all himself in his studio.
Oh, okay.
And then occasionally he'll get back together with the other band or different band members and go on tour as The Beautiful Girls. So
That's confusing.
it is, isn't it? It seems to work. Whatever he's doing is working. So
Absolutely.
I think because he's successful, he has the luxury of being able to more or less pick and choose what he wants to do. He's obviously got sufficient income from the early Beautiful Girl stuff and his own material to be able to live that lifestyle. How lucky is that? And
That's amazing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
we're all chasing that.
But he's not living in England, is he?
No.
Yeah, that might be a bit more difficult. Now, coming back to David Pleasance here, we've got some phenomenal artists on. We've got Flashback Photograph.
Yes.
They're a Peterborough band, aren't they?
They're a three-piece. It's Gary Lee Ward is on vocals and lead guitar, main guitar. Matt Worthington on multi-instrumentalist, actually plays guitar and mandolin and banjo and many other instruments. And I'm not sure. I think it's Danny. They've got. They use either a drummer or a cajon player, which is that wooden box that you sit on and hit. That's a musical instrument from South America that's actually often used in flamenco. I think it's Danny they've got performing this time, and they write really kind of zany stuff and quite catchy stuff. Very, very popular indeed.
Absolutely. And of course, let's not forget last week's guest, Leslie Curtis and Stuart McLeod, Oakley's Rise. They were phenomenal.
Yeah, well, Leslie is the veteran. She's a very, very well-established country singer, although she will tell you way back in her young days she was the epitome of a rock chick. She used to front a band in a rock band and so on, but she sort of mellowed a bit and sings country. She's signed to a Canadian label, and so her music is played a lot in the States on the country charts. Very popular, and she's an amazing performer, lovely person. And she actually works in several guises. She's got the Leslie Curtis Band, which is sometimes a 6 or 7 piece. She actually does an Eva Cassidy tribute thing. It's not really a tribute thing, but she performs all the works of Eva Cassidy, beautifully done.
She tells a story, doesn't she? That's what she was saying last week, yeah.
She also works in a duo called Jazzanova, which kind of tells you what they do, and with Oakley's Rise, which is the original material, country style, and he'll be performing on Saturday night. Absolutely awesome stuff.
It is absolutely amazing. Of course, last week when they played in the studio, we were just chilled. Well, like it was just amazing.
Yeah.
And of course, in the studio again last week was Jesse's Ghost.
Yes.
Amazing, 5 amazing harmonies. 3 of them there was. I think the harmony, you can imagine 5 with them, with that sort of harmony. How did you discover them, David?
Well, all of this came about actually from being asked to run the acoustic stage at the Willow Festival 2013. And in order to do that, what I would do is to give everybody a chance, is that I would hold auditions, although nobody wanted them to be called auditions because they hate the word. So we called them showcases. And basically we had 5 venues, and over about 3 months I actually listened to live performances of 146 acts over 3 months. And I was absolutely, totally blown away by the majority of them and the talent that there actually is. And I managed over the time to squeeze in, remember there's about 2.5 days of the Willow Festival, because it just starts about 6 o'clock in the evening on a Friday. and I managed to squeeze in 39 acts over the 2.5 days. And in fact, I had selected Jesse's Ghost without any question. They are probably my favourite band, apart from my son's band, in the UK. As a 5-piece, and I know that last week they could only, 3 of them could only come in during the day, but as a 5-piece, basically they have a lead singer, 2 guitarists, bass guitar and cajon, that instrument we were just talking about, but all 5 of them sing, and they do 5-part harmonies absolutely to die for. I love their material and I love the way they perform it. Very professional, wonderful sound, and they have quite a big following, so hopefully they'll bring a lot of fans with them.
Absolutely, I've got to say, they're absolutely amazing. Of course, talking about that acoustic showcase that you did, okay, Meg McPartland was another one of those.
Yes, yeah, she was 16 at the time.
I know.
I think maybe maybe just 15.
She was coming up to 16, wasn't she? About a week before her birthday it was.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, she was saying that.
And I mean, the moment she walks on stage, she's in command. She absolutely knows how to talk to people, knows how to capture the audience, and she just delivers. As I said, she's quite feisty, and I love her material, and I love the way she delivers it.
I've got to say, perfectly great. When she was in the studio, we did a pre-record with her, like, you know what I mean? We were just tapping and bouncing in the studio when she sang and played it. It's amazing. Now, coming back to Marcel, you know, because it's a little bit more chilled out with you, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was watching you play the guitar there, like, you know what I mean? Now, you were sort of like strumming a chord and then giving it the hit. How did you form that?
I think a lot of it's come out of because Dad used to play a lot of flamenco sort of back in the day, in the 70s particularly, and has played ever since, on and off. So I've picked up some of those techniques through him, just through interest really. So I think some of those have sort of translated into my songwriting kind of by default, because I think at the time I was probably I don't want to say naive, maybe a little oblivious of the way I was writing songs, and it just sort of just came about really.
I've got to say that it is interesting. I've not seen. I see people who play the chord and they hit the guitar and things like that, but it was like one fluid movement. So you must have been practicing that from a fairly early age.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can't remember when I started, to be honest.
It's just something that's grown with you.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
Yeah. Now let's talk about your career to date, because you formed. Did you form the band Deltaphonics or?
Yeah, it was myself and my brother really, who plays bass. I was doing the solo stuff at the time, just really wanted to be in the band at the time, to be honest, and just expand kind of what I was doing into a bit of a bigger performance, if you like, more engaging for the audience and more fun. So we sort of started putting the feelers out, and we were doing some open mic nights together. And at O'Neill's we had just met this young guy called Chris, who just happened to be sort of in the audience checking out what was going on, and it sort of transpired that he played drums, but there was no drums available at the time to get with these open mic nights sometimes, so he decided to just play the table.
That's it, yeah, I was going to say, a lot of drummers, like Don Powell for instance, and things like that, and even I used to do it. I used to tap around, because I'm not a drum player, but I used to love trying to play it, you know what I mean? Yeah. We used to tap around sofas and things like that, so Don Powell started tapping the furniture and things like that, and any drummer, and I've seen it on television, if there's not a drummer about, they will play a glass at anything that you can get hold of. Yeah. Was you amazed when he did that? Did you think, wow?
Well, it just worked at the time, you know, what he was doing kind of worked with what we were playing, and we kind of just felt that we gelled sort of instantly, you know. So in that regard, it worked out really well. And to be honest, we were quite ready to find a drummer. We've been looking for a while, and they're not that easy to catch, you know.
No, they're not. No.
So we kind of just grabbed him, and that went from there, really.
But it worked really well, didn't they? Because you did. One of your first gigs I saw you at was the Charters Bar after the Willow Festival, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
It depends, yeah.
It's about 3 or 4 years ago that is now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you had a great sound, I've got to be honest.
Oh, thank you.
It was awesome. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it comes to your songwriting, right, and doing things like that, is it the thought that comes first? Do you just strum a chord? I mean, some artists strum a chord, and they sit in a bedroom and they just go, "Yeah, I'm going to write a song." How does it happen with you?
Yeah, for me it's pretty much like that. I'll just be sitting there playing guitar and sort of messing around with chords and things and trying new chord arrangements, I guess. And sometimes something will just click and I can just hear a melody over the top, and then I'll just take that and try and work some lyrics to it, even if it's just made up lyrics in my head as I'm doing it, you know, just to see if it'll work. And if I like it, I try and imagine myself sitting as an audience member, you know, or someone listening to a radio show or whatever, and thinking, would that resonate with me? Would I, you know, buy into that? And if I think it will, then I'll just take it and I'll finish it. But I do procrastinate quite a lot. I'm probably a little bit too hard on myself sometimes, because I'll have a lot of ideas and they'll just get dismissed halfway through, which is why I haven't written a song for quite a while now. So
Yeah, Dad, I know you know a little bit about your procrastinating, don't you, David? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's not that. What I wanted to tell all your listeners is that what Marcel has not said to anybody is that he actually plays a multitude of instruments himself. And
I didn't know that.
sometimes what happens is that he gets an idea, goes to his studio or bedroom or whatever it may be, and then he will actually play all the instruments and record a song, you know, drums and bass and cajon sometimes, and maybe 3 different guitar parts, and he'll do that all himself with no engineer, and then suddenly come out and say, "Hey Dad, what do you think of this?" And blows me away. Absolutely incredible.
Now, do you find it hard sometimes to step back and be objective rather than say a bit biased towards your son?
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, no.
Because
I mean,
it's difficult to do, isn't it?
well, it is. I mean, because every parent says, you know, my son this, my daughter that, they're the best, and all the rest of it. I am objective, and I do offer criticism, but usually it's constructive. I don't think I've ever destructively criticised him.
No,
I don't
no.
believe in that at all.
No.
But I have sometimes offered some suggestions and things, and I think we have a level of regard for each other musically, and as parent and son relationship, that he won't get offended by it. I think he takes it in. Doesn't always do what I tell him. Surprise, surprise. But no, I am very proud of what he does, and I love his writing. I always have. I've been a big fan of his songs from day one.
Yeah, no, because I was going to say Concrete is one of my favourite songs of yours. You know what I mean? That actually says something about the environment. Is that some of these messages you try and get across in your music?
yeah, pretty much always. I think sometimes I do write kind of more lovey type songs, although I'm not big on writing love songs. But even if they are a bit more sort of love type songs, I'll kind of embed messages in there as well. Try and do, not in kind of any sneaky way. I just I kind of like metaphors a lot. I like working with metaphors, and quite often they'll be based on things from going back to the sort of Australian beach environment type thing. So sort of waves and
It must be a cracking place to grow up at, you know what I mean?
yeah. I didn't really grow up there. I grew up in Arundel actually.
Oh, did you really?
Mostly, yeah.
Oh well, we didn't know that either, did we? You know what I mean?
I wasn't there till I was born there, but obviously I don't have any memory of that because I went back to the UK very early. So I was about 19 when I went back there.
We're going to be talking about the Singer-Songwriter Showcase very soon. What's the second song you'd like to do for us?
I've forgotten now.
You can tell it's all put together. Well, Marcel gets himself refreshed, and you can listen to the rest of our Josh on a Monday night. Take me on Peterborough FM.
Listen to the best
I didn't know
Bollywood
you were that
music
high a
with
voice.
Marcvel Joshi on Peterborough FM every Monday from 5 to 6 p.m.
Yeah, I've got just made a playlist recently with just guitar music. I was just in the mood for this.
Oh yes, how about that? That's Bollywood music, right along Joshie on Monday afternoon. I think they've finally got it together, Marcel.
Yeah, I'm going to do an original next because I'm harping on about originals and.
Oh, we love originals anyway because it's
Yeah.
great stuff, isn't it?
So,
You know what I mean?
This is one called Sleepwalking that I actually wrote with the Deltaphonics.
I remember that. It's on an album somewhere. I can't remember which one it is.
On the EP.
That's right.
It's on 2 EPs actually, but one of them didn't really make the rounds much. But yeah, so yeah, anyway.
Marcel, please take it away.
Sleepwalking through these lonely days, through the silence the siren breaks through, and it calls you to beckon a song. So what if I choose to refrain? Would you leave me with these lonely songs? So we got a mountain to climb, we're still reaching for the sky. All the while we're bound by our minds and these lonely days. So you hide from your hunger, you scream just to feel your own skin. Instead you say that you won't need it, you swear by it as it pulls you back in. Meanwhile the siren's screaming on with this war, will it never let go and subside? I swear I can't shake this feeling. Will it never arrive? 'Cause we got a mountain to climb, but we're still reaching for the sky. And all the while we're bound to the ground and these lonely days. These lonely days. Time will take it away, take this all away.
Oh, that was absolutely amazing. I love that. With that rhythm, I've got to say, I was just bouncing in the chair. I've got to be. So when you sing, like all other artists, you seem like you're in a different place. Do you imagine heaven or something when you're singing?
I wouldn't say heaven. Well, it depends how much alcohol I've had, really. No, I definitely go somewhere. I don't know where it is.
There's definitely. I was going to say you always they're all in a different place. I mean, have you noticed that, David? I mean, like Negma Partner when she was singing, you know, Leslie Curtis when she was playing and singing, and things like that. They all have this sort of zone that they go into.
Yes.
And it changes the whole studio. You know what I mean? It changes the whole thing. Now let's talk a little bit there about the techniques that you learn and play with, because I was watching you hit the guitar with your finger there. I'm thinking I'll break my finger doing that. You know what I mean? What sort of techniques do you use? Do you mix of plucking, picking, or just strumming, or?
I use a bit of everything really, but it's mostly those two that I've just done, if you like, which are kind of variations of the same thing. I think that's quite a common.
That sounds a little more powerful, doesn't it, than say the first one you were doing, where you were doing the string?
Yeah, well, I used to, when I first wrote it, I was doing it my old style, the old slappy style. But I actually went to that because it's more like a kick drum.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of reggae style. You always have the kick drum, you know, on the on the tubes. So that's why I started doing it that way. Just a bit of variation, I guess.
There's some great sounds, I've got to be honest, it really does. Now you're going to be performing at the Keith Theatre on the 17th of October, okay? With that event, okay, are you going to be doing anything special to prepare for it? Because I ask this to people, say, look, we just go on stage and we love doing it. Do you get nervous?
Yeah. Yeah, not as much as when I first started out. But yeah, I always get nervous, but I think the nerves are good. I've had times when, to be honest, I've had a few drinks because of nerves, and it's killed the nerves, so I've been, you know, completely sort of
Comfortably numb.
Yeah, exactly. Very good description. And it just hasn't worked. I've listened back to recordings, and it just doesn't have that kind of atmosphere, you know, that energy.
I was going to say, a lot of performers, like people who you see on telly and things like that, and musical, they say, yeah, they get the nerves, but it gives them that better edge on the performance. Do you find that?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I find it, like you're saying, you sort of go to that place, and I think that is some sort of, I don't know, response to the nerves. It's like it builds up, and then you kind of unleash it slowly over time, and I think that's where the energy comes from. You know?
And of course, when the audience respond, that feeds it back again. You know.
That's right. You feed off each other, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's what Meg was saying. If she's got one person there that she knows doesn't really want to be there, it changes the whole dynamics of that particular ethic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're doing a workshop, aren't you?
Apparently so.
You don't know yet, David. You better tell us all about it.
I said apparently so. He's being very facetious.
I agree. Yeah. Now you're going to be. Is it the singer-songwriting showcase you're going to be doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. What sort of things are you going to be teaching or showing people?
I mean, I've never done anything like that before, so I'm a little bit unprepared for it. But I think I'm just going to basically, sort of like I've been saying to you, just show people sort of how I go about writing a song. I guess good chord combinations that bring about strong melodies would be
That'd be
the
good.
direction to go with.
I think that the one of the reasons why I wanted Marcel to do this singer-songwriter workshop, actually the actual songwriting workshop is what he's doing, is that because Marcel, the way he was brought up, and I know intimately, obviously, because he is my son, he was exposed to so many different types of music as a youngster. Listened to everything, because I listened to everything. And one of the things he definitely responded to was flamenco.
Okay.
So I would show him some flamenco, and often the chords in flamenco are very unusual. And there's a long story behind that which I won't bore your listeners with. But Marcel learnt some really unusual chords. And when he puts his songs together, he often does chord progressions that are very different from anybody else. And I think that's what makes his songwriting stand out. And I think that is something, if you can just give people the thought process that says, maybe I should look for some different chords and different progressions, then that will be of use to them.
But that's how music's developed over the years, isn't it? You know what I mean? You've had sort of like one band doing something, and I thought, well, I like that, but maybe we could do something like this.
Yes,
you know
of
what
course,
I mean? It's awesome. And of course, the musician groups and community, they actually help each other, don't they?
Oh, absolutely, indeed. Yeah, they talk to each other, and yeah, it's luckily the although, as we mentioned earlier on, that there aren't that many opportunities for original musicians. What musicians there are do meet quite regularly, and they talk to each other, very friendly, and it's quite a nice community actually. Yeah,
That's
pretty nice.
amazing.
Yeah.
Marcel, it's 1:45. Would you like to do another song before we go out, before we start talking about things, and we do a bit more on a couple of bands that we haven't mentioned yet on the thingy? What would you like to do with us?
Why not? I think I might do a very well-known Al Green classic.
Oh yes.
In my beachy style, beachy slappy style. For want of a better.
Marcel Pleasance is really fashion. Brilliant. We love it.
We'll see how this goes anyway. So in love with you, whatever you want to do, it's alright with me. 'Cause you make me feel so brand new. I want to spend my whole life with you. It seems that since we've been together, loving you forever is what I need. Let me be the one you come running to, 'cause I'll never be untrue. I said let's stay together, loving you whether times are good or bad, happy or sad. Whether times are good or bad, happy or sad. Why people break up, turn around and make up, I just can't see. You never do that to me. Around you is all I see. I said let's stay together, loving you whether times are good or bad, happy or sad. Ought to stay together, loving you whether times are good or bad, happy or sad.
Lovely.
How about that? Absolutely amazing. That's Marcel Pleasance there with an Al Green cover, Let's Stay Together. David, that was brilliant, wasn't it?
Absolutely lovely. It's an example, as I said before, about the chords that Marcel chooses to play. He does different inversions of chords, so it makes it sound very, very different from anybody else. Love it. Beautiful.
Now, just before we go into the last couple of songs, the last bit, we haven't mentioned the massive event that's happening at the Key Theatre, because headlining it is Opaque, isn't it?
It is indeed, yes.
And they're launching the UK launch of their album, isn't it?
It is, yeah. They were very, very clever. They decided on and a very good marketing angle, because everybody's looking for something new, then they decided, wouldn't it be nice if they had a number one? And they thought, well, the chances of that are pretty remote. So they took it a bit further and said, what about if we get a number one in somewhere like Liechtenstein, which has a population smaller than Peterborough. So anyway, they decided to make that their mission, and they organised a couple of live performances. They went on TV there, and they went on radio there, and it literally only just come back in the last 2 or 3 days. And so this will be the launch of that new album, which is called A Little Belief. In the UK, they have a very big following of fans, rightly so, and hopefully they'll bring a lot of fans with them. They're headlining it, so they've got a slightly longer slot than anybody else because of the fact that they're launching the new CD. Yeah, it should be fantastic.
Brilliant. So I've got to tell you, Marcel, what about new music for you? When are you going to get some new stuff out?
Well, the project's running at the moment because unfortunately the Deltaphonics disbanded a little while ago.
That's right.
Which was an
I went boo-hoo on Facebook, don't you?
Yeah,
because I had to close the page down, didn't I? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a little bit sad, but we'd all kind of moved on to different things. So the next project is called Satyr Soul Orchestra, and we're currently a 5/6 piece. I'm not sure because we've got a few people sort of back and forth from uni and things.
Because you were talking on Doc Show last week, you were saying you're looking for some horn players.
Yeah, always looking for horn players, and preferably a female front person.
Oh yeah.
If anyone's interested.
Brilliant stuff, I've got to say. A female front, there's plenty of them out there, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Or should be.
It should be, yeah. They're harder to find than
They all seem to manage to sing behind the hairbrush and on the karaoke mics, but you can never actually get them out on the stage, can you?
Yeah.
So if there's a singer out there, okay, that wants to perform with Satyr Soul, get in touch. How do they get in touch with you, Marcel?
On the Facebook page, which is Satyr Soul Orchestra.
Spell that as S-A-T-Y-A.
Okay.
Satyr Soul Orchestra.
Well, how do you come up with the name?
Incense.
Sorry?
Incense.
Incense?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
No, it's actually a Sanskrit word which means truth and light, roughly.
That is amazing, that.
Yeah.
Now, is it going to be having original music, or is it going to be more soul covers? Or?
We're starting out doing more covers just to kind of get going and get out there, but we're writing as we go, so we're hoping that it'll ultimately end up being a mostly original entity.
Just before we go, right, where would you most like to play in the world? If there's any stadium that you could pick, that you could just pick and play, where would you play?
I don't know about stadium. I could definitely think of a few countries.
Well,
I don't know, probably like Rio or something like that.
Brazil, yeah.
Somewhere like that.
Well, your rhythm would certainly suit that, wouldn't it? A bit of carnival style and things like that.
Yeah, because we've got some, with the new project, there's a bit of Afrobeat kind of thing going on, which would fit in well there. So.
Absolutely brilliant. David, it's been a pleasure talking to you. How are people going to follow you, get to you if they want to gig or something in Peterborough? How do people get you?
My Facebook is Musos for You. For those who don't understand, Musos is just a shortened word for musicians. So it's M-U-S-O-S, the number 4, and then the letter U. Musos for You. I'm on Facebook. That's probably the easiest way. Email musosforyou@hotmail.com. Happy to hear from anybody who wants to perform any kind of genre, particularly original music, but we will also listen and try to help anybody who just does covers. Young, old, it makes no difference. One of the people performing it this weekend is a young Thomas Dunleavy that I know has been mentioned before. Well, he came to the Glasshouse acoustic sessions when he was only 9 years of age and absolutely blew everybody away. But also on the same bill, I had a 69-year-old guy performing. So we're open to all ages, all genres. Just get in touch and we'll take it from there.
Original music and covers with you?
Oh yeah, originals. We're mainly, the ethos of the Glasshouse is mainly original music. But we know that some people they may only have 1 or 2 original songs, but if they want to play 15 minutes and they want to do a cover, that's perfectly acceptable, especially if the cover they do has got their own stamp on it.
Absolutely. Like Marcel's cover there of Al Green's. Oh, it's brilliant, I've got to say. I love the voice treble, it's like, that's brilliant. Marcel, David, is coming towards the end of the show. I've got to first of all thank you for coming in.
It's a great pleasure.
And thank people for listening to CityBuzz today. Next week, we are going to be talking to AJ Naik. Now, he set up a business giving his top 10 tips for making it in the music industry, and also giving you courses on how you can look after your business in the music business. So we will be talking to him from 11 o'clock. We're also going to be talking to Peter Torek, okay, of the Peterborough Phantoms. He's going to be saying how you can interest bilingual reading. This is all about the literacy campaign in Peterborough. Keep it on there. And don't forget tonight, 7 till 9, Rock with the Doc on Peterborough FM. You're going to play us out with a song till 12 o'clock, Marcel. What would you like to do?
How long have I got? 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Better be another original, says the boss. So I guess I'll do the old downtime.
The what?
Downtime.
Downtime.
Yeah.
I think I know that one too, but it's been a while since I've heard that. Thank you very much for listening to Buzz.
Thank you. Find some shelter, call it your home. Road flooded with street lights, which to run. Discover an angel, you call her your own. Realize that all we are is all alone. My friends and me, we had some fun. Look to the future, it's just begun. We're doing some things that haven't been done. Times of trouble, we look to the sun. I'm on the outside looking in. Life on the east side, it was wearing thin. Here comes the hurt now, where do I begin? Tell me, where do I begin? I'm on the outside looking within. You said why I had
Look at that. To the second.
Absolutely.
Because I did the edited version.